Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first match of the second day of the second round this year's British Open. In this match we have Bertie Vallat against the number 6 seed, Rob Shenkman. Both amateurs in this match. My name's Sam Lake. I'm joined in the commentary booth by the rambling man of real tennis, Benedict Yorston. On screen now we have Bertie Vallat. It says Queen's Club there, but his primary club at the minute is in fact Radley. He's the MCC Silver Racket champion. These two have come across a lot of each other this year. I was counting earlier, I think this is their 4th or 5th rematch this year. There we see 2 of those on screen.
Well, I think Bertie's currently actually claimed by about 3 or 4 different clubs, to be honest. He enjoys playing as many hours as he can, so he's based out of Queen's a lot of the time, but he's also just started at Oxford, so he's playing at Merton College, and then hopping on the bus to go and play at Radley when he can as well.
Against him is the British Amateur champion and top-ranked amateur in the world, Rob Shenkman. He'll be the first person to tell you that he's the top-ranked amateur in the world, of course.
I almost think the more impressive claim to fame for him is being the only player under the age of 30 in the world top 10.
And the service side, the number 6 seed, Robert Shenkman.
And you can hear.
Let's say level. $15 love. So then the second gallery, 15 love.
I think that's probably fairly representative of the types of rally we're going to see a lot of today. Shenkman from the serving end trying to pepper that timbre. Bertie picking a lot up in the backhand side and taking the gallery when he can.
Here we go. We see in the past 12 months these two have played each other 4 separate occasions. This will be their 5th. Shenkman getting the best of Bertie on all of those occasions.
Shenkman getting the best of Bertie, but you can definitely see a trend to getting closer. You look back, to 2023, 2024, you're looking at a lot of bagels, a lot of easy, quick matches, but the last couple, Bertie's been pushing him a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, Bertie's improvement in the last 8 to 12 months since his gap year cannot be overstated. He's really stepped up the consistency.
A little bit of annoyance from Bertie there. Went for winning gallery or the hazards a couple of times.
Both players opting for the long length on that rally.
Second gallery, 30-15.
Maybe a bit of early nerves with a slight amount of overhitting of the ball from probably the 2 most conservative floor players.
Okay, better than 2 chases.
I think maybe it's unfair to call these two conservative, but
Well, there's another C word, consistency. That is probably one we could use to describe both of them. Actually asked Mr. Shenkman before the match what he most admired about Bertie Vallat's game, and he said consistency.
Yeah, it's a quality which is necessary in order to drop those handicap points with haste.
Bertie 15, server lead, takes the second gallery.
As soon as we mentioned consistency.
Yeah, he could probably do with dumping if not so many balls in the net across the whole match.
Yeah.
That is the first game, 1 game to love.
A little bit of perhaps start of the match nerves from Bertie, just warming up. So it's 1-love to Mr. Shenkman.
love. Okay, better than 6, 15 love.
Lovely drive from Bert there.
No.
Well marked.
All. Bertie 15.
That's the shot that Bertie needed, I think, halfway through that rally.
That's one that you wanted, yeah. You could see he was just a little bit pushy, perhaps, on a couple of opportunities there, and then overhitting, giving Rob the chance to keep targeting that timbre.
Yeah, the one that he just hit to Shenkman's forehand wasn't, I don't think, the correct choice in that particular scenario. But we were talking before this match, Benedict, about our predictions, and
30-15 receiver better than 6 yards.
Judging by those, I think, hopefully. But if you can pull through, that'd be great. But hopefully, viewers, we've got a good match with some seriously long rallies coming up for you.
Bertie's starting to find a bit more consistency in his game.
Yeah, I think he'll settle into this one fairly quickly at the home court.
One J, 40-30, receiver lead. Game. 2 games to love.
It's good pressure from Shenkman.
Very well played from Shanks there.
Okay, worse than 2. No stroke.
Little hold.
to let us know your predictions for the match in the chat as well. Myself, I'm going to say 4-5-4 Rob Shenkman. What about you, Sammy?
I've got 5-2-3 Shenkman.
Very, very solid from Shenkman. A couple of nice change-ups from Bertie there, including down the line. But he just kept soaking up the pressure, drawing the error.
Yeah, both of these players love their backhand-to-backhand exchanges. Cannot get enough of them.
Proper tennis. And that's 2 chases. It's not a prediction, but we do have our first message in the chat from neutral observer, Grace Beglin, who is tuning in from Oxford. Not that neutral. Supporting Bertie, in fact.
Yes, very, very not neutral. Love to see Georgie M in the chat, but no such evidence as of yet.
So 2 pretty tough chases here. You think Shenkman's definitely going to be looking to stretch out a 3-love lead as quickly as possible. Worse than 2 and worse than yards. He's not going to go for...
No railroad to be seen.
That's well played from Bertie. He's found the length, found some cut.
Worse than 1 yard.
Drew the error, now he's got worse than a yard to tackle.
Lost it. 30-15.
That one, Bertie does lose the chase on.
Better down the second gallery, 30-15.
Played. We saw on the previous point, it was a bit of a loose Shenkman serve, kind of hitting high up the back wall, fairly in the middle of the court. And Bertie's hit the drive down the line, wide of the dead on. And it's one of those where I think for some players, they want to hit a lot of dead ons, they want to attack the main wall. But for a player like Bertie, he really wants to be at the service end, he wants to win from the service end. That's where his consistency is going to really pay off. So by going for that drive, he's going to get the chase. It's better than second. So yeah, last gallery is an option, but it's not too easy a chase to beat, and it gets him down the service end. So I think he'll be very happy with that kind of a shot if he can hit it consistently.
Yeah, exactly. I think both of these players are going to look to spend as much of this match as possible on the service end.
3 games to love, first set, 3 love.
I was going to say, they're not known for their attacking return serve play between them, but...
As Shenkman piles the main wall dead on.
Exactly.
15 love.
Lovely to hear from Georgie Ingham in the chat, answering my praises. How are things up north? It is absolutely frigid at Queen's today.
Second gallery, 15 love.
Both players staying quite close to the battery wall serving at the moment. Shenkman opting for the cut side wall that Levi Gale was hitting to quite good effect yesterday. Bertie going for the drag at the moment.
The drag proving effective to getting him in the rally, but sort of falling short 3 or 4 shots in.
It is, yeah. I think drag's a really interesting serve. I think it's one that, against some players, it can be really, really effective, especially those that have more of a tendency to back off and take the ball off the back wall, whereas players who want to step in and hit a really aggressive volley can often just easily slap chases 3, 4, just cross court, low, hard. So against those kind of players, it can be less good, but against a player like Shenkman, I think it can be a really good choice. So as you say, get in the rally, get a slightly more manageable return of serve.
Great tennis.
Much better shot.
15-30.
You just see the difference between the wide of timbre shot that just pops out into the middle of the court versus missing inside, where it's going to be hard for Bertie to manage to get that one up.
It's great play.
14-15.
Again, it's that drive missing the dead on, but
Yeah,
it can
that
be very hard
combined-
to pick up. It can be very, very effective.
Combined with that short post that pulled Shanks up to, almost worse than last to the backhand corner.
When you've got a player who's as good at retrieving as Shenkman is, you can get down the receiving end and just not really know where your next chase is coming from. So the two things that clearly Bertie's decided he's going to do, and he's doing reasonably effectively at the moment, is chip galleries where he's got the option to, and hit those low drives, because as kind of good at getting around the court Shenkman is, if you hit a low drive, especially one that's going to go out to worse than last, better than second, you're going to really struggle to get there unless your name's Holyport.
Chases second gallery.
Bertie winning the supporter count in the chat. Laura Poot says, go Bertie.
$30-14.
Sadly, Bertie not winning that game point. He's got one more.
Shot.
Converted.
Affections of the drag coming in there, because you can see that Shenkman's decided to step in and try and, aggressively attack that ball, but it's probably not the natural return for him. Found a penthouse as a result. Same again. These rallies are 3, 4, 5, 6 shots long, but it's all coming from the serve. It's getting Bertie into the rally.
Yeah, I think it can't be overstated how much of this game is going to be won from the service end.
Worse than a yard, 30 love.
That's what Rob wants to do more of. Trying to hit the drag out of Bertie's serving repertoire.
Chase, better than a yard to Chases.
Yeah, I don't even think the cut volley is his only option there. I think off the drag, you've got a few bailouts that you could go to very easily. You've got slap main wall if it goes a little short. If it comes off very short, you've got slap fat boast.
There is
either long or short.
There is a small margin for error on the drag, because it's very small margins between the ball that bounces on the penthouse and then curls back into the wall versus the one that takes an extra bounce and comes off, as that last one did, actually kind of a metre or so out from the battery wall. I'll tell you what, Rob's got away with that a little bit, because that serve is hitting halfway up the back wall, about a metre out.
Yeah.
That's a better one. And he gets the result.
Yeah, as we speak, Shanks is one of the premier defenders of the main wall dead on with that signature boast back into the main wall. I don't think Bert's going to be able to trouble him in that corner.
No, 13, the last gallery.
Bertie a little frustrated, I think, with the call. But Neil is always right. Actually, the highest ranked marker in the world,
Currently.
Neil McKenzie.
According to Ben Rollinson's.
Ben Rollinson's complicated algorithm that I'm sure no one other than Ben Rollinson and perhaps Ben Gatebeek understand.
I would like to look at the contributing factors towards the rankings of that particular sheet. I can guarantee you it's...
I think vocal skills comes into it as well. How exciting you make the score sound as you shout it.
Oh, it's necessary. If you're monotonous, then the audience will want to go to sleep.
You can never fall asleep watching Bertie Vallat and Rob Shenkman hit backhand to backhand.
Scintillating.
That's
a great shot.
Lovely bit of disguise. Federer-esque little open the body, put it the other way. Very nicely done. 4-1, Rob Shenkman. See, that is the exact serve that Bertie wants, where it's only taken the one bounce, and as a result it's then drifted back towards the battery wall and given Rob very, very little to work with.
Yeah, I think the fault's better than going too high up the penthouse in that particular situation.
Fault or perfect? Yeah, exactly as you say, fault or perfect is what you want on a first serve, especially if you've got a solid second serve. So he'd rather see the ball drift into the hazards than take the extra bounce and give Rob an easy attacking shot.
That's just not optimal from Shanks there.
Second gallery, 40 up.
Do you think we should board up the galleries? What are your thoughts on that?
Well,
Occasional suggestion that players float that would be their rule change that they would make.
I think the winning openings can stay the same size, and the gallery chases could get smaller. I think I belong in the Chris Ronaldson school. Where
Well, that's the Washington approach, that the new Washington court has slightly higher galleries along the side, slightly higher dead on as well.
Yeah, I think it makes for a more exciting game of tennis. It also happens to be what I'm used to at my home court of Hobart. Extremely small openings.
Game, receiver, 2 games to 4.
I think what I do quite like about the existence of the galleries is you can have very different styles of play reaching the same level. Good shot.
15 love.
One thing you do miss out on if you make the gallery smaller is you don't get people attacking them on chases as much.
Door 30 love.
And it does nullify some of the doubles tactics by defending the galleries.
It does indeed.
So the theoretically perfect game of tennis whereby you hit hazard second and then galleries to beat that, and then second and then hazard galleries to beat that, is harder to pull off.
Half yard worse than last 2 chases.
Interestingly, what Rob's not currently got with his first serve is what we were saying of perfect or fault, which is that he's hit some very nice short ones that's kind of tied Bertie up a bit, but he's putting, I'd say, about 1 in 3 about halfway up the back wall, which is just letting Bertie do exactly what he did there: step in, drive it, get the chase, or step off it and chip into the gallery.
I don't know. I think if I'm Rob Shanks in this situation, I'd be almost just as happy with that, because the options are Maymore, which Shanks is just going to defend with ease, or chip into the backhand, which is what he wants to get into anyway.
He does, but I think he wants Bertie chipping it to the backhand off a floor ball, rather than halfway up the backboard.
Yeah, as you say, it's better, but it's... I don't think Shanks is losing any sleep over that.
15-13, half a yard worse than the last gallery.
Crucial 7th game, 30-15, half yard worse than last.
A couple of very important points coming up.
And another grill.
A pair of grills halfway through this game.
Pretty big point in the set now at this point. You feel Bertie needs this game. That's a little loose.
40-30.
Shanks amped up for this match. Maybe he's come similarly like us, preloaded with coffee.
Game, 5 games to 2, 5-2.
There's 5-2 now, so a little bit of a tough task in this first set for Bertie now, but he has got the serving end. He'll want to try and keep Rob down the receiving end for an extended period.
Worse than 5, no stroke. Love.
I'd be curious to know, Benedict, if you're aware of Bertie's training regime and if it's as rigorous as Shank's training scheme.
Most of Bertie's training regime is shouting at me when I don't feed forces as accurately as I should to his forehand volley.
30 love.
Just the idea of you feeding forces is enough to crack me up a bit.
I think my favourite moment of that was James Medley last week asking me to feed forces as if I was Lewis Gordon. I can't really imagine two players less well suited to imitate each other, but
yeah, no, I can't actually come up with anything funny for that. That's just impossible.
But I mean, in terms of Bertie's training regime, you mentioned he had that gap year last year and played a huge amount of tennis. I mean, he was playing here, he was playing in the States, he was entering every tournament he could. He's obviously started university in the last month and a half, but he's still playing pretty regularly at Queen's, at Radley, at Oxford. So I know he's getting on a lot. Oh, yeah, backhand to backhand.
Nearly a yard worse than the last gallery.
A deceptively good rally from both of them, though.
There we go.
That is game and the first set, 6 games.
Takes it with a winning gallery. That is 6-2 to Rob Shenkman, the reigning gold racket champion, has taken the first set. It's a good return from Bertie, because that's the serve that Rob's looking for, is cutting down. Bertie's done well to get under that.
Well found.
15 love.
I think that's exactly the result Bertie wants from that kind of rally. The quicker he can get out of those points, the better.
That'll be frustrating. That's a slightly fortuitous bando on the pick up there. Made it a little bit awkward for Bertie.
Yeah, I think I saw one earlier which hit both top and bottom edges of the
It
last
did.
gallery,
Yeah,
which
it's hit.
Bertie still managed to pick up.
Bando ledge, flicked back.
Oh, 30-15.
That's just kind of showing the relentless pressure of Shenkman. It's actually a really quite good cut volley from Bertie there, but just straight back at the timbre over and over again.
40-30, Bertie's last gallery.
Less relentless with that one.
So we'll see some statistics from that first set coming on screen for you shortly.
I think someone's not pressing the dead-on button. Rob would be very upset at those stats because he hit quite a few. He hit at least 2 or 3 nice make ball dead-ons in that. But 76% serves 1 from Shenkman. That's kind of the real telling stat, to be honest, from there, which is that
dominant.
once he's down the service end, he is winning a lot. 32% chases laid from both players, which is telling you they both want to get down that serving end. It's clearly the right decision for both of them. Bertie sat at 48% from the service end, so much better than receiving, but not quite enough at the moment. And that won't help.
Shenkman's not happy with that. Both these players known for being somewhat high maintenance on court.
Okay, it's worse than 6. Second gallery, 2 chases, due.
Question that's immediately come to mind for me then is if Ben Gatenbeek doesn't want us talking during the points, presumably the players don't either. The players don't want us talking in between points while they're getting ready to serve. What exactly is the point of us being here?
We're just
Should
here to
we
watch
go
the
and have
tennis.
a beer in the
Yeah,
bar
we're
downstairs?
just here to watch the tennis, Sammy. Watch and learn.
Just
This is my training for the day.
sit here with silly headphones on and have a very quiet conversation which the viewers can't hear about some backhand to backhand.
Let us know what you think is going to happen in the rest of this match. Is there anything that you think Bertie wants to try? Let us know in the chat if you think there's anything we're going to see over the next couple of sets. That's a good return from Bertie. He's got it right onto the main wall.
Gallery.
Sort of comment on that class main wall defence there.
Advantage server.
I have had some funny bounces from that end of the court in past matches at Queen's Club. It's just the nature of the game, though. If you're going to be having 20-shot rallies, you're going to get some bad bounces every now and then.
That's a great rally. A really good reaction actually from the very first shot from Shenkman. It was a main ball that came out a bit further than expected, but he got it onto the floor in the forehand corner. Built the rally from there.
Okay, first game of the second set, 1-love.
Bertie's looking a bit frazzled down the hazard end at the minute.
15-love.
Commenting on bare bounces, I had one particularly good one the other day, which I'll tell you about in a second.
I was half expecting Bertie to leave that hazard, or pretend to leave that hazard, and then chip it to chase one, just because Vaughan Hamilton did that to him in their earlier match.
Turned up on Real Tennis Flair was just the best piece of deception I've possibly ever seen.
Absolute genius. I'm going to be practicing that one for weeks now.
Yeah.
So you were saying?
So I had a match against young gun Algernon Nottingham a few days ago at Queen's Club, and I hit a volley which I thought I hit rather well. First bounce, about hazard, second gallery, towards the corner of the service box, and it rolled off the floor. So I was given hazard better than second, and a slap in the belly with a wet fish from that rally, which I thought I was going to come out on top of.
Well, which would you prefer, rolling to be a hazard or bouncing onto the penthouse, like would have happened if you hit that shot at Paris?
I think I prefer rolling into the hazards. Hazard chases are significantly easier to attack from the receiving end than a chase better than one or a main ball dead on. Yeah, Paris proving to be.
15-love receiver. Hazard chase better than the door.
Have you played at Paris?
I have played at Paris. It's a difficult court for a lot of people to get used to.
On it.
Yeah, it's a good choice on the hazard. Low drive, cross court, hard to pick up.
Yeah.
Last gallery, this one. That's a really good serve for Bertie. If he can get that one, the tight drag, a bit more consistent, he's got a good chance in this set. As Chris Ronaldson would say, if you're hitting it into the forehand corner, it needs to be a winner, or the last shot of the rally.
Yeah. Against his next opponents, I don't think Shanks can be able to get away with that.
Yeah. 40-30.
Excellent rest from Bertie.
Good pick.
1 game all.
Started with a tight drag and got the ascendancy from there.
Good finish from Shenkman
15
there.
love.
You see Bertie's service points 1 percentage drifting above 50% there, which is a good sign. Gives him a route to winning.
Certainly looking more comfortable in this match now.
Yeah, he's moving well, he's hitting the ball well, he's getting into the types of rally he wants to get into. which is going to absolutely pin Shenkman down the receiving end.
Dirty love.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Dirty
I
love.
thought that was another really well-crafted point from Bert there. He can be disappointed to not get rewarded for the couple of shots in the forehand corner.
Racket slipped out of his hand there.
Jay, sorry, 40
Sometimes
love,
known
one
as the
Jay.
tactical drop. It's definitely not a throw.
No, it's like Kyrgios. It slipped out of my hand.
It slipped, yeah. Except if I recall, his was a water bottle. Yeah, I think we saw.
I mean, yeah, you're just sitting here, you know, from Shenkman. It's just getting that one more shot back, which is especially out of that forehand corner there. You know, he's got it back. It's high. It's not making it. It's a particularly kind of winning shot that he's hit to get out of the forehand corner, but it's one more shot that a lot of players wouldn't get back. And I think giving him a chance to go again. He's got the chase. So every point, one more shot can be very, very frustrating to play against. So here we go, 40 love Shenkman. Better than 4 the chase.
Yeah,
He's sticking to that cut sidewall. See if he can keep it on the floor.
I mean, that is liquid reelers.
I mean, it's just a tough chase to play Rob Shenkman on, because on better than 4, you haven't got the option to go into the galleries, you haven't got the option to drive it, because you're probably going to go and lose the chase off that. So you're just really tough. Good serve.
15 love.
Kicking off the ski slope.
All.
Excellent retrieving from both players.
What's the second gallery? 30-15.
Bertie put that return serve back in the bag.
Yeah. He's already got one chase, but I think that one probably could have gone last gallery rather than down the line.
There were a few better options than missing the deadlines there. at that pace as well. I think
30.
harder anywhere is a better option than that kind of mid-pace force. You know that all too well, don't you?
No.
Hit the ball harder.
Just hit the thing, mate. It's the Australian way. Oh, it's a great edge.
31 chase, Ginger.
To understand why you, well, I can understand why you would feel frustrated at that, but you just can't be. There's no way of controlling that. You can't read it.
I think Camden reads that, but no one else does.
Yeah, he only reads it because he gives himself every option right up until the last minute. But if you're where Bertie was in that situation, you've been beaten already. Sorry,
40-30 receiver, chase worse than the second gallery. Game receiver.
It was a great first
3
volley
games
from
to
Bertie.
1. 3-1.
Rob's had a little slice of luck there.
Chase 7-2.
Good honesty from Bertie there, just calling the ball down. Essentially the second time Rob's done that slight off-pace cut volley. To quite good effect, in fact.
I think if you cut it enough, that's a great option. Oh, that's brutally unlucky.
What's that, sir?
The edge of timbre, the net cord into second gallery, and then the winning gallery ledge going to a hazard is 3 rather unfortunate bits of luck for Mr. Vallat in the last few points.
Would you describe Mr. Vallat's condition as perhaps a little stitious?
A little what, sorry?
A little stitious? Not superstitious. Just a little... like things
A
aren't
little
quite going
stitious.
his way. Susie Faulkner and Leslie Ronaldson there in the members bar.
No stroke. First chase is better than
Watching on.
2.
Oh,
Don't
that's
think
not
that is
Liz.
Les, but we have got Susie watching. Enjoying the tennis.
Opposite 15 love. Hazard chase better than the second gallery. Hazard. Thirty love.
Susie Faulkner, for those who don't know. CEO of the IRTPA. Even watching the amateur matches. She's very dedicated to her job.
Maybe it's a recruitment drive.
Yeah. Forty love.
I think this set potentially running away from Bertie here. He's looking a little bit dejected.
That's fine.
Rob
Game
Shenkman there
server.
with
4
the
games
Wayne
to
Davies
1.
approach.
Second
If
set,
you can hit more
4-1.
forehands than your opponent, you'll win. That ball was well and truly on the backhand side of the court, but still managed to get around it.
That feels like a slight shot of
Love.
frustration. It's not really one you see Bertie hit very often. Probably not the choice.
Thirty love. Down. 40 love.
Marked.
I think a big difference between this and periods where Bertie's been a bit stronger has been finding that gallery. Even though on that backhand volley, it's not a bad volley, but in the first set, especially when he was looking a bit better, he was finding last gallery off that.
Yeah, and as we saw in the first set, he's just not able to convert points from the hazard end in the same way that Shanks is.
Pressure down the door, no stroke. Love.
We almost managed to get hands to that one, Benedict. Not quite.
Still trying to get myself on the plane.
So, 15 all.
Shanks has done the commentary for us. Thank you, mate.
French just being uttered on court there.
Yeah, Bertie, next time we'll do a warning.
First official warning of the tournament given out for Bertie's colourful language there. I think hazard worse than second is generous for.
Yeah, I think he was a
Bertie
little more preoccupied with how he was going to express his moments than he was looking at the hazard chase.
Better down the door.
Yeah, I thought for a second we were going to see some velocity on the racket.
It's very well played from Bertie. He's playing the right points, he's playing the right patterns, but Rob is just picking everything up and getting it back down onto the floor. That's a great pickback. So when it feels like things aren't going your way, it really feels like things aren't going your way. That was another bando edge there that's gone against Bertie. 2 set points. First one saved.
40.
Hopefully we'll see a quick replay of some T&RA play here. I'd like to make note for the viewers at home exactly how many strings Shanks is presenting to the ball at any one time off that T&RA. He's one of the few players on tour at the minute who opts to boast it back into the main wall more than back off from that shot, opt to play it whilst moving backwards into the backhand corner.
Well, that's quite impressive also, actually, his wrist strength in doing that, because he's obviously not a left-hander, but he's also not doing a double-handed backhand like Lumley, but he still manages to, from behind him, get the ball back into the main wall, which takes quite a lot of strength. So here we go, set point number 2 for Shenkman, last gallery chase. He's going to lose it.
Another unfortunate edge for Bertie.
It's 6-2, 6-1, 2 sets to love. Rob Shenkman. Can Bertie turn things around in set 3?
$15 love. Second gallery.
Good choice there.
15 love.
Second chase, and Mr. Lamming in the chat commenting that the game is gone for a warning for colourful language. Bertie could feel a little bit hard done by, because I think this week you've been able to avoid an official warning, serving bobbles with your racket onto the penthouse, as long as it's after the last point. So perhaps you should have waited till after the match to drop some French on court.
15 love server. Chase the second gallery.
I think Mac is a bit more strict and on it with the marking. Premier, the world's premier marker at the minute. Bertie Lyons may have something to say about it.
Fist bump there from Mr. Shenkman. Still very much locked in.
Won it, 30-15.
I think I'd like to see Bert slow the match down here a bit.
That's a great shot. That is a great shot.
30 all.
It sort of slipped off the wall, didn't it?
No, second serve.
Shot.
40-30.
It's a well-produced shot from his back to the corner there.
Advantage server. Time.
Turned away for about 2 seconds and somehow missed a near ace from Bertie.
Mr. Lamming asking the commentators if we're able to say what Bertie said. Obviously we're not post-watershed, so we can't say it verbatim. But if we say that we've been talking a lot about the slightly unfortunate luck that Bertie's been having, and you look up some rhyming words for luck, I'm sure you can deduce for yourselves what led to the warning at the end of that second set.
You would in fact need a beep there, BBC Two. As we see the set 2 summary.
I feel like our commentary is slightly more akin to Radio 4 than BBC 2, but we can let the viewers decide that. Here we go, and Neil's found the dead on button. He's got a grill and a dead on each, but that's 75% serves 1 for Shenkman. Really the deciding factor. Well marked.
Jinx.
Advantage server.
Good heat pushing Bertie for time there.
Advantage.
I'll chip Bertie up.
Lovely bit of aggression.
Main receiver.
see Bertie's body language a bit positive there. He's found a couple of very good shots. He's taken the first game. Put an end to a bit of a run of games and points from Shenkman. Can he press on?
Less than 4.
It's a great choice, that. He's
Good disguise.
Played quite a few down the backhand side for the last 5 to 10 minutes. Lovely change up. Yeah, I think he's finding more success on those drives down the backhand corner, rather than opting to try and hit more down the forehand corner and then use the backhand as the change up, switch it around. I think that's a nice little adjustment that Bertie's made there. Shenk's doing here what I would like to see Bertie try and attempt more of.
No stroke.
Slow the match down.
Less than 4 yards.
Stem the bleeding a bit.
Yeah, usually it'd be the winning player that wants to speed it up and the vice versa.
It felt better than 4.
Yeah, well marked.
15 love, chase
That
better
was
than the
less than
second
4.
gallery. Yeah, thank you. 30 love.
Anyone looking for some academic reading on whether to leave chases or take them? I'll let Ben Gatenbeek drop his links in the chat.
15.
It's a great article on Real Tennis News on that particular topic.
Court game, 1 game all.
Sort of bit off the sidewall a little bit there. Just cutting a little more than expected. 1-1.
Love. That's all. Love. Love.
Something I've only just noticed while I was talking to him.
Hold.
Just noticed something on Bertie's backhand that I don't usually see from him, which I'd like to talk on.
15-14.
Perhaps I'll wait till the change of ends. It's rather wordy.
Great, worse than 4. 15-14.
Do we see that?
Speaking of worse than 4, here's the lead, and perfectly marked from Neil, who called it better than 4. Always frustrating. I think that, or putting the ball into second gallery when the chase is better than second, are the two most frustrating things in real tennis.
Yeah, really hurts, that one. Something I've noticed just on that last few points, usually we see from Bertie more aggressive cut on the ball from the backhand side than I think we've seen in this match. I think maybe he's lacking either a little bit of bite or a little bit of confidence. he's one of the best proponents of leaving the racket open right up until the last minute and really ripping that backhand in. But I think we're seeing a little more tentative tennis.
Neil just checking the list of banned words in case any more get floated in the rest of the match.
That list could be rather extensive after this week.
I'm not actually sure what the rules are about other languages. I know in the lawn tennis world, you're not allowed to exclaim in other languages in case the umpire can't tell swearing from non-swearing. But here we go, 40-15. Shenkman chase worse than 4 again. That is definitely winning it. Great cut shot. That's a good pattern of points there from Bertie. He's won the chase. He's got straight back down the serving end. Slightly difficult one to defend, but a tight drag, and he could get himself back in this game. Mr. Lintott.
Some more comments in the live chat.
Mr. Lintott deducing from first principles that it was indeed Mr. Vallat who was warned at the end of the second set. Yeah, it's a great choice
well
from Bertie.
found.
Small margin for the winning gallery, but obviously a much bigger margin when you've got all of the hazards in play. Here we go, back to Juice.
Yeah, he hit that winning with an air of confidence, which we haven't seen a whole lot of in this match. Bertie having to work a bit harder than necessary to have to win that point.
You can hear a little bit of frustration there from Shenkman himself that he's not chosen just to put it into the gallery. Knows exactly what he wants to do with each ball. If you make a mistake, that's one thing. If you make the wrong decision, that's when he gets more frustrated himself, which is the mindset we should all probably have. As long as you're trying to do the right thing, the execution is somewhat secondary.
Nobody's perfect on any given day, but if you can increase the chances of success without
Advantage receiver, takes less than 5 yards.
Without trying overly hard, it's a great plan.
There's a shot that Rob's hit very well today, which is when Bertie's got a good aggressive shot into the forehand corner. He's just managing to get it back high to Amber. Good to deal with.
Advantage, server.
Yeah, Rob enjoyed that one. That was a tight game. He's taken the lead with a very good volley defence.
Better than second, no stroke.
Shot, exclaims Grace Beglin in the chat. So I'm going to assume that was for the excellent winning gallery that Bertie found. That's a great serve. A little slip of the racket. Rob's done that actually with a few different shots today where he's varied up the pace. Slightly slower cut volley, slightly slower railroad. Keeps it a little bit varied for Bertie to deal with.
Yeah, early on we didn't see a whole lot of that.
Last gallery, 2 chases.
This is, of course, Shenk's first match of the tournament, so he hasn't had as much of a chance as Bertie to get used to the intricacies of the East Court over here. I think the further we get into this match, the more we'll see Shanks get really comfortable with the ability to change the pace.
He's also played plenty on this court. Multiple British amateur titles won.
Be curious to
15 all.
know when the last of those
Second gallery,
was.
2025.
What month?
March, I believe, off the top of my head, but I'm sure I'm about to get corrected. February, there you go. Out by a month.
$30-15, chase the last gallery.
Bertie looking to mix it up with a few high serves.
Nice point. 30 all.
It's a series of really tight shots around the Tanner there, which Bertie's played excellently, and Shanks has retrieved with ease. Makes it look annoyingly easy.
Okay, Western 6, 30 all. Chases.
Very much still a winnable game for Bertie here. He's got worse than 6 in the door from the receiving end, 30 all.
It's very much still a winnable set, even.
Well, exactly. He had chances for 2-1. So as much as he still seems a little bit frustrated, he's very, very much in this set. He's not let Shenkman run away from it. The rallies themselves are also noticeably longer than quite a lot of the ones in the second set were. He's making fewer errors. And he's no stranger to 5-set matches. He's won 5-set matches on this court before, so he should just needs to keep going.
Lovely rest.
Bertie got a little bit away with it there, putting it into the forward corner.
Juice. Serves advantage.
Significant point.
was an unfortunate result for a great rest. I mean, both players are full extension there.
Excellent pickups. Again, it's just, you don't feel that's the shot that Bertie would be playing if it was the first game of the match. Yeah, it's very well picked up from Shenkman.
Game server,
Landing right on the stroke line.
3-1. Love. Love.
Fortunate there for Shanks.
That's the chase he's been looking for.
Bertie there pushing Shanks into top gear retrieval mode.
Excellent question from Mr. Lamming about the youngest ever British Open main draw participant. Our large language model, trained on all sorts of real tennis data, has indeed answered with Bertie Vallat in 2023, so 2 years ago. 18 years and 8 days. Henry Hemman last year, 18 years, 31 days. Lewis Williams back in 2012. And Freddie Bristow back in 2019, all aged 18. Do you think we'll ever see a under 18 player in the main draw? Sam?
I think it's only a matter of time, Benedict. As the game grows, we'll get more and more better young players.
On it. 40 love, chase better than the second gallery. Game receiver, 4 games to 1. Last gallery, no stroke.
We've just been told by the Real Tennis Oracle in our ears, Ben Gatenbeek, that there have been 5 17-year-olds in British Open qualifying. If in the chat you can name all 5, we will be extremely impressed.
Down, better than 2.
If you do, you get a free ticket to the rest of this match.
If you can make it here on time, I think I'll be more impressed if you can name all 5 17-year-olds in British Open qualifying history.
Disclaimer, since 2001.
Since computers have existed in real tennis.
2023.
I didn't say good analysis, Benedict.
Here we go, 4-1 Rob Shenkman, last gallery, looking to complete this third set. Not been many bracket errors from Shenkman, but Bertie's found one there. Better than 2, harder ask.
Lost it worse than 2. 15 all. $30-15.
Very good serve, very good return. Good tennis.
Oh. More than worse than the last gallery. 30-15.
As well as half call by Bertie, and while you're all still musing on the youngest players to play in the British Open qualifying main draw, at the other end of the spectrum, yesterday Mr. Robert Fay became the second oldest and the first ever retired player to play in a British Open main draw. We'll do another guess who is the oldest ever player in a British Open main draw. To give you a clue, it was in 2011.
30-15 server lead. More than yard worse
So
than the
one
last
player
gallery.
older than Rob Fay to play in a British Open main draw.
Oh.
Or Mart.
All hazard chase, better than half a yard hazard.
Well left by Rob.
Server lead.
Unfortunate way to lose the point for Bert.
Score. Juice. Outcourt advantage receiver.
For those wondering, our trivia question: the only player to ever play in a British Open main draw whilst older than Rob Fay was yesterday was Chris Rollinson in 2011. Aged 61 years, 296 days. So if you're younger than that, there is hope for you yet.
That is extremely impressive.
Service advantage, facing last gallery. Game server, 5 games
I believe
to 1.
Chris lost that one to Will Burns in 4. And it's looking here like Rob Shenkman is going to win this match in 3. 5-1 up.
Perfect miss at the timber.
And 15 love up.
15 all.
This fairly likely looking
13-15.
victory, Rob is of course going to be booking his place against fellow World Championship racer Rob Fay.
Last gallery.
Rematch of the last meeting in the David Cole Trophy back in August, where Shenkman managed to win in 2 sets in a best of 3.
Indeed, at Lord's. That result certainly adding a little more intrigue to the matchup, because on paper, obviously, Fay having an excellent season, ridiculous record on this court over the years, but you can see with that match at Lord's that Shenkman does absolutely have the ability to push the very, very best on his day, and especially after today's fairly comprehensive performance, looking very comfortable on the Queensies court. I'm sure he'll be incredibly excited to take on Mr. Fay on Thursday at 12:30. Here we go, 2 match points, Rob Shenkman.
$30-40.
1 match point, Rob Shenkman.
Still 1 match point, Rob Shenkman.
To wrap up our question earlier about the 5 youngest players to have played British Open qualifying, all 17 years of age, they were, of course, James Medlow,
Henry Henman,
Bertie Vallat, John Lumley, Connor Medlow, not James Medlow, I've been told, and Bryn Sayers, all 17 years of age.
Here we go, match point.
Match point, Chase better than 3.
That will do it. Rob Shenkman clenches a fist with a fist pump to the crowd. A good crowd in the dead on watching on as he triumphs over fellow amateur Bertie Vallat. He moves into the quarterfinals to take on Rob Fay on Thursday afternoon. So some excellent tennis in there, some very tight rallies. Not perhaps as close game score as Bertie would hope, but some excellent play from Rob, especially from the service end. You can see that 68% win serves at 1, making it very tricky for Bertie when he was down the receiving end in particular. Any big surprises there, Sammy?
I think the biggest surprise was that neither of our predictions held up. I think we were both expecting some slightly more impressive tennis from Bertie, given his past form, but you can't have your day every day.
That's true. Well, I've been Ben Yourson and been joined by Sammy Legg. We've had Ben Gatenbeek, as always, doing some excellent streaming. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back shortly for the next match of the day.